Hey, what's up YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Chris Glides. Today on the 2023 Harley-Davidson RoadKing, I'll be installing this Kuryakyn primary cover. It's chrome and it's gonna make the accents on this motor stand out and even look better. Kuryakyn produces a whole nother set of other parts, and I'll be showing you some of those installs as well. But first, I wanna thank Kenneth Mitchell of Delaware for donating this part to me for this RoadKing build, and I really appreciate it. Ken, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this box and see what we have in there. All right, so once I got the contents out of the box, it came with a neatly packaged the cover. It has a set of install instructions and these 4 bolts here. And they're gonna replace all the bolts that are in there. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and get my tools prepared. All right, so the tools that I'm going to be using today is just a generic socket set, and I'm going to be using this 3/16 hex, and I'm going to be using at the end I'm going to be torquing these down with a Newton meter and a inch pounds so that I can get it to those torque specs right there. It says 144 to 156 inch pounds or 16.3 to 17.16 Newton meters. So one of the things that I did to make sure, just to see if I needed to actually take everything off, I went on and just placed this up here, and I found that I can get it past this heat shield without taking it off, and I do not need to remove the shifter linkage. So the first thing I need to do is, it says to go ahead and remove these 5 bolts here. So just tracing back a little bit, as I did read the instructions, and it's up to you. You know, some people read them and go by different things, but if you want to go by the book, it's saying that you want to make sure you park your bike on a level surface. I have it on the center stand, and also it mentions letting the bike cool down, and it talks about removing the main fuse. And so those are the recommended steps for step 1. I'm going to go ahead and use by hand, not power tools. I'm going to go ahead and start these to get removed. I don't want to strip anything out, and go ahead and remove those bolts as I mentioned before. All right, so now that I got that last bolt out, I'm just inspecting it. It looks like they had some factory Loctite on here, and so that means I will be replacing the new bolts with some blue Loctite. And when I first get those in, as you can see, I just want to compare the size of the old and the new, and they look like they're slightly longer. Yep. So actually the other ones that are supplied look to be shorter on those, and looks to be a little bit longer on those. So just checking this over, I wanted to say, wow, I mean, this thing is clean. It's a nice sturdy material. It's not plastic. And thank you again, Kenneth, because this part is flawless. He didn't use this thing at all, and just slipping it right over in there, and it just fits right in. So there was no need to remove anything else like the heat shield and your shifter linkage. So the next thing I did, I went on and started by hand all the 5 bolts that are removed, and got those started by hand to make sure there's no cross threading. I did decide to go with the factory bolts. These are chrome. However, what I did notice is that the factory ones did come with washers, and the other ones were longer with washers, but even still, so I'm going with factory bolts. I just have a fear of supplied bolts. Oftentimes I've seen them break, and other things, they just weren't the same quality. Not saying that's about these, but for whatever reason, the manufacturer decided to have washers and things on there. So that's what I'm going with for now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these tightened back up. And as you can see, this cover already makes a big difference. All right, so now that I got those snug, I'm gonna go ahead and now torque them in. As I mentioned before, I'm gonna go ahead with the torque specs that are recommended from this page. But one of the things I would recommend doing is checking your service manual for your bike and go ahead and double check the values, because values for torque specs on bikes are different per bike. I do know that even though all these bikes are pretty much the same, have the same primary covers and things like that, you always want to verify the year and make model of your bike and double check those torque specs. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that process now. So once you hear that click on your torque wrench, that means don't do it anymore. So these are torque to spec. I went on and used 150 inch-pounds for that, and so that should do it. So this is your final product on how, or this is your final view of how this product looks on there, and it is nice. It's the Kuryakyn Precision Inner primary cover, and just add some more chrome appeal to your bike. This was the part number, I believe, 6413, and let me check on the box and see again. Yep, 6413 was the part number for that, and this is a 2023 Harley-Davidson RoadKing. All right, I'm just gonna give you guys one more final look at how this 23 RoadKing is going, and that primary cover by Kuryakyn looks really nice, thanks to a donation by Kenneth Mitchell of Delaware, and I appreciate it, man. That thing really stands out. So this has already inspired me to want to go ahead and get more parts. So I went on and ordered, there's a cover that goes in the back here, and that cover that goes in the back, about $44, and I'm pretty sure that that one's also easy to do, and so I'll be doing that tomorrow, and that was like a one-day shipping type deal, but I like how this build is going so far. I still need to order the rear spoke wheel for it and white wall on the rear, and just like how all the chrome is coming along, I do need some other chrome pieces. I know that changing these out up top makes it really look like a big difference. And any chrome that you replace on a bike with chrome makes a big difference. I haven't done a chrome bike in years, and it gets pretty pricey just adding on parts here and there. But oh, check out Grady. I went on and took the Tour Pak off, and as you can see, Grady has a entirely different look, and that bike is fast. That's all I'm gonna say. So Storm, I haven't taken off the Tour Pak yet. I don't even remember what it looks like with the Tour Pak off, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that and just kind of roll with the no Tour Paks. And anyway, back to this bike. So I still need to go ahead and get a chrome air breather, and I'm gonna do that sometime in the future. And Kuryakyn makes a whole different bunch of parts. Like they have to go ahead and get this black covered up in chrome. There's covers and stuff that you can put right here, and even like the chrome dipstick. And so when you're building bikes like this, well, not really building, but when you're accessorizing bikes like this, it can get pricey depending on like how long and how often you're gonna be like throwing chrome parts on here or there. But the cool thing is you don't have to do it all at one time, and you just, ride and enjoy. One of the things that I actually want to improve is the rear suspension, but I still want to have it to where I can raise and lower it, but I just don't think I don't know if there's a combination out there to where you can have a air ride suspension that's pretty much comfortable. And maybe, pretty sure if I go more expensive. And then with the center stand, one thing that I'm not liking is once I have the bike aired up and lifted up and I'll raise the center stand, it kind of cants down still just a little bit. And so, I roll with it like it, but I wish it went all the way up. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and most likely remove the center stand, remove the air ride. I'm gonna go with a different suspension itself, just so these bikes with the windshield off, it's not really super comfortable taking long distance trips, unless it's hot out and you like that. But I want to be able to roll this thing like 500 miles and still be good to go with suspension wise. So, you know, you're rolling, it's not a big deal, but I mean, this thing is just banging all around. Even when I raise it up to full height and then drop it down some, it's just still not good for me back there. I have not tried to go too up on this thing yet because it's just, the rear suspension is just so uncomfortable, to the point to where I started to put the factory suspension back on for now. And I like it because I can lower it and you can't see the rear wheel because I haven't purchased the chrome spoke rear wheel yet, but yeah, that suspension's definitely got to be changed. And I mentioned before, I'm gonna most likely go with the Olin suspension and have the air cans hanging off the back, which is not really a traditional Vicla look, but the rear of this is just not going to be Vicla, I guess. But hey, it's still going to be good enough in my eyes. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Chris Glides. I want to thank again Ken Mitchell for that donation, and thanks you guys for hanging out. And I will see you guys on the next episode of Chris Glides. Thank you. See you later.